Alright, ladies, let's roll right into this one. What's up, Jeremiah? Phone's blowing up already. Can't even get away from work for a little bit. We'll see how long I can get into this because, yeah, work calls, I gotta answer type stuff. But, one man show today. Let me get my track IR set right. I'm missing the monitor up there. I wish I had a easy, quick camera adjustment because, I mean, really I'd like to be here. But sitting normal. We sit up in this one. What's up, Fender? Come on, get situated right. Alright, let's roll it. I need to do some more adjusting here with the header heights. I thought I got everything right, but I guess not. Took it from a old XML that I wasn't realizing that it was older. Jump out of this view for a second. What am I missing? Oh yeah, I was going to try course play. I don't know. Should we do course? No, I can't do course play on this one. That's right. I got a terrace in the back. I haven't even been all over this map yet. It's the 16X Hubbard, Nebraska. So like, I'm still finding random stuff. So there are some terraces in the very back part of this field, and you guys can see there's a couple blank missing spots in the far distance. So that's just server loading in. It takes a long time to get that one going. Beans yielding right around 96 bushels an acre. Not terrible, but not good. And that's what you get for the MPC fields. Hopefully we can ramp that up this next year. Look over there, that's my green wheat field. Doing some winter wheat. Get a little more income. As you can see, I don't have much. We get through this month and I'm going to be euchred and have to sell more corn. I was hoping to hold on to that for quite a while, but I got about 18,000 bushels yet. Oh yeah, it renders for a little bit, you know. I probably should have paid a little bit more for the better server, but tell you the truth, this one isn't it's not working that bad. I mean, it's working great. Let me put it that way. I was kind of surprised for a 16X map. Mirrors are struggling for some reason. I thought I had them cranked up a bit more. Maybe it's just these mirrors that are struggling. It's a big map. It gets you out of the field for a little bit and gets you cruising. It gives you a little something to do with your semis too. Hopefully when he comes back through and redoes it, or puts it out for 25. I like the way he has the sell points spaced out, but that's really just for the silage and the bales and stuff like that. So hopefully it kind of brings something else into it to where you're driving a bit more. I wouldn't mind like another co-op somewhere else. Someplace to take your grain that is not just one single spot, but it's also a pain in the butt to do when you've got a location like this where it doesn't have two sell points on the map originally, so you're kind of just making it up as you go. Let's see here. Detect with just maybe. I kind of did, or I did do one round, one end row already. I took it out along the waterways too, so I got time to lift up and everything before I grab all the weeds and whatnot through there. Hopefully we keep them clean. Beans look clean for right now. They look like the size of... Never mind, not gonna say it. Where am I at? I want to get my diagonal rows set up here too. I got the end rows out here, so suppose I could, but also you got to remember Giants have it set up so 0, 45, 90, and so on, and 360. I think it's like 135 if I remember correctly, or something like that. That you line up with the roads, and I don't want to line up. I want to take a slight angle, but nothing crazy. I think right here we could get into it. Nope. So I'm going to have to adjust that one real quick. Okay, where'd you go? Let's go down to like 5. I should be able to get something out of this. There we go. Now we're golden. So, one-man band. I got the auger wagon set up back here, which obviously I will be offloading this a little bit before I go across the long rows. I don't know if I'll make it back or not. We'll give it a shot here and see if we can make a full round. But I also have to finish my end rows on that end too. And I found out I need a flex header. This is a pretty big header to begin with. I think it's the 35 footer. I think. I might be wrong too. Oop. Don't hit the tractor. Too close. But yes, I need a flex header, and definitely going to be going bigger. It just sucks when you go so big that even your auger is too long for a 12 row. Yeah, it's the 35. So I mean, 35 is nice on this combine, but it really is fender. There's so much elevation change. I haven't hit it in this field yet. There's a couple spots that I've hit where it picks the combine up and it pushes a little hard. But the big thing is that you don't miss some crops or something. So let's roll with it and see what we get. There. I'm not going straight with any of the rows. We did kind of take one heck of an angle, but so be it. Most of the Midwest got rain today. If you guys are not in the Midwest, hopefully you got a little bit for the crops, but not too much that you can't work like me. I'm like central to the top, so I'm the 65's my field. You guys can see my little triangle now. We got Tillman to the west of us and Scout to the southeast of us. I went the wrong way. Tillman's to the east of us and Scout's to the southwest. Hello. Getting a little decent yield off of this. Not terrible. Could be better though. That's yes, fender, yes. I think we're sitting right at a half an inch. And then if more rain comes this evening or not, I don't know yet. It's not looking good for the Wednesday though. Jeez. Holy crap. They're talking 1.5 inches of rain Wednesday. That is not cool. Yeah, that's not good. I don't need that. We need to get the hours in, boys. No, man, this year's been so freaking wet. Like, I'm okay with drying out for 2-3 weeks. It can stay cooler, and not as humid, but we need to dry out for a few weeks. Let's get this last end row done here and work my way back around. See, I really need to take time and adjust this because the header's not even touching. If the soybeans would, if it would go down all the way, I think I'd be fine. This one isn't the flex one though. I got a few plans with this save going on here, and oh, what's up, Pleasant? You haven't made it yet. You're running out of time too. There's only 4 days left in the season. I guess you can harvest into December. Corn's January, so I think I haven't looked. I don't know if he has the location of the map set right, but so far it's running alright for the temperatures and everything. I mean, it could be quite a bit cooler here. Let's see here. I know we got snow in October, and that's pretty normal for Farm Sim. But that... See, I hate that. Why does it always pick the temperature back up? Like, the first year sucks in Farm Sim. October's frigid freaking cold, and then November warms back up, and then we finally get cold. Yeah, that's not good, Jeremiah. Our corn's been past that for a while here. Pleasant, you that dry out there that your crops are struggling? I hope you got that drought resistant corn in. What's up, Steve? Afternoon? I figured I'd catch a few people in a far different time zone. It's good morning here. He's a day ahead of us. I forget how many acres this field is, but where's my buttons again? Not even an hour on this field yet, and I got 13.5 acres done. I'll be good. They got kilometers per hour up there, but it's reading the same as miles per hour. Alrighty then. I wish we could, I mean, I know there's combine experience out there, but I wish we could get the difference for separator and engine hours in the machines itself. I know there's a lot of interactive controls out there for equipment if you set them up and everything, but I'd like Giants to bring that stuff base game. Especially interactive controls. That one should be something that's in every machine. Easy to just brings more immersion in, is what I should say. I do like how, we'll see if that's right. That's Hetra acres, but it's supposed to be right. I've never seen that in these combines before, so. News to me. We'll have no problem making a full round. Perfect. I'll be able to leave the auger wagon back here and then hopefully get a couple acres done with that before I have to go empty it. We're at 109 bushels an acre now. Better soil towards the bottom, I believe. That's a plus. And with advanced add-on that I got in, I'm harvesting the beans at 10.5% moisture. I should probably wait for a rain day, but I don't trust the farm sim weather anyways, just like normal weatherman, meteorologist. You shouldn't trust that. But if I waited for some rain, get some moisture in these, and I'd be sitting just fine. I can't remember now that you speak of it, Fender. I know it's decent yields, but I might have messed something up here when way back. It takes so freaking long to do anything on this map. I do know we had some issues with the crops and the NPCs since since harvest is so late. NPCs kind of plant according, and they will put their certain fields in longer than the others. So if I remember correctly, I had to F12 this field in because it withered on me. But you look across the way, that field won't be ready until December. It all depends on how you plant, but I also probably got to go through and rewrite the growth stage in this map to make it so they will not wither until like January or something. Come on, get a full wagon. Not yet. That should be close. Maybe another round in. Going good, Snowman. How about yourself? I wonder what we got going on here. Hold on one second. There we go. Sandy, loam, and loam. And then this is silty clay over here, river bottom ground, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but we're running with what Texar had, so I figured we'd just play through it. I probably should have set course play up on this and did some other things, but I need to get... This field will need lime. Yes. And also my field over here that Tillman ended up buying around will need lime also. Oh, that's a truck or a loader? He must be doing bales. Definitely need nitrogen. I'll have to... I probably won't put any on the wheat. I'll save that for the beans. That field's going to beans. Short season beans. Rained out 2 days in a row. Dang. This year's been hectic, man. Especially here in Iowa. It's been wet all year long, which we had a really dry year last year, so we needed this. But for the construction side, no, we didn't need this. Freaking, what was that, 2 weeks ago? 3 inches of rain in less than 30 minutes? Yeah, that's enough. At least when you get that much rain in that short amount of time, it doesn't soak in. It all runs off. You got to watch out for the gullies it creates, but this one was actually worse. About a ½ inch of rain slowly. Dang. 5 inches of rain yesterday? That's the same system that came through last night on me, and yeah, we only ended up getting a ½ inch out of it. I gotta stop looking at my phone when I'm on in-cab view. Wow, that system really died out. I thought we were gonna get another round. Oh well, I made the call already, I'm not going back on it. Oh, see, here's 20% moisture. What the heck's going on now? Different ground? Alright, let's see what happens when we go into this other ground. Should be able to see the yield difference right here. It's staying at 20% moisture. Interesting. And I don't know if Thunder put it in there. That the end rows are drier than the center. Maybe he did, because I swear to God we were at 12% moisture before. Building some farms today. Very nice, snowman. That real life or farm sim? Oh boy. Doing it in Farm Sim, always a joyful thing. We need a undo button in Farm Sim 25. It'd be a lot of memory for the game to handle, but it needs to happen. I can't tell my distance with this in the game at all, dude. I've always struggled with that. Alright, we'll do one more round, make sure the combine's full, and then go empty the wagon. Or as full as we can get in this section anyways. Josiah? Thanks for the sub, dude. The ability to grab the place building and move it. I agree with you. Instead of selling it, being able to click a button or hover over it with the mouse and grab it to a point, because then you're going to shift it, and then you got the level areas that always go on everything. My biggest thing is placeables. Since you place and sell, and you very rarely sell the farm or sell a building years later, it shouldn't be an automatic deduction in the price. They should have roughly an hour meter on them also. They get charged per day, so therefore to keep track of it better would be by per day that the price goes down. So why can't we just sell it for the same price we bought it for, including the level and not? You guys notice that the more it levels, the more it costs you, unless you got the free landscape mod. But what I'm saying is, if I'm able to place that building 5 times in the same day, it shouldn't cost me any more than I should not have to sell it for any less than what I bought it for. It is a good thought process, though, if they listen. What do soybeans normally yield in real life? I thought they were like 80, 90 is good. Because I'm just looking at it, that yield is up there into the top. But if I'm going to yield more than 113 bushels an acre when I do this fertilization and everything to the tip, then I'm not sure. And these are narrow beans. I turned the yield up a little bit more with a higher seed rate also. And I wish I could put the benefit into Farm Sim like you do in real life, where you guys are drilling beans in the canopy sooner, which potentially gives you the option to spray one less time a year, which is saving you in the cost. But then you don't get a crazy yield boost with them or yield difference. It's just saving you that pass across the field, which a lot of guys here aren't even using the spot sprayer or whatever you want to call it that we have in the game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So that means, because what I did with my narrow beans is I went off a base game and then I just turned them up a little bit more. I don't know if my other field is narrow beans or regular soybeans, but I need to compare them again. Which, this is just the first season, not even through the first year yet, so I'll give it a shot the second year, and then we can always adjust from there. But I don't want to make it impossible to grow in game either. which I'm on normal setting right now. You could go up to hard mode. I know I did that with Carroll, and if you're on hard mode, it's going to be hard for you to grow. You gotta like grab everything off your ground that you can possibly get. So corn stalks, sell that, do hay. Hay and silage makes a crap ton of money pretty easy. Which, if I get into cows this next year, I haven't decided yet. They'll probably be more pasture than anything. I'll have to build my pastures just north of my farm if I can afford to buy that ground. It's not worth anything but pasture ground. And it's still freaking expensive. Anything here in this map is expensive just because the size of the freaking fields. You know, I wasn't thinking about this, ladies. I should have left the combine at the other end and left the auger wagon down there. It'd be quicker than coming through the center of the field every time. We'll have to do that the next time. Make sure somebody reminds me. And I don't know how many of you guys run that major service mod that we got on Mod Hub. I grabbed that. I'm going to give it a shot here because I know at like 50 hours on your equipment in game, they just drain the maintenance on it. You got to constantly maintain them then. So I'm going to try it and see if it works better. So that way I don't have to pay as much. I shouldn't say as much. I shouldn't have to... I wouldn't be paying as much, yes. But you do a major service on it, then it doesn't deplete the maintenance down as quickly once you get over 50 hours. And with as big of fields and everything this is, I'm already at 21 hours on this tractor. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing like services every freaking 3 days or something. I am running one truck fender, but I'm not going to bring it around onto the gravel road with auto drive or anything. I like to run the auger wagon more than I run the trucks. I guess I could bring it around. It's only for a short time. Oh, there is a bit of a ridge there. So when you go and make a map, you kind of miss some of those points and you're painting it off an image, and that image doesn't always line up perfect. I don't have an issue with it, but I think that fence and grass line should be brought up to right where my left track is. That's what I think. It's just eroded there from tillage and everything. But that will be a hectic issue for the combine heads and everything. Yeah, Fender, it'd be like a full overhaul. Which, also Giants needs to get their stuff figured out also with hours. The equipment should be running, not like how long you run it in real life. It should be based off of how many hours go by in the game. So that way, if you're times them by 3 or times them by 5, the hours are going up accordingly. Rather than just how often you run it. But it sucks to say that I got 21 hours on this, and I wasn't even in the auger wagon the entire time. I was doing other things too. So I've been harvesting over, I'd say probably over 26 hours in this map so far. And that'd be, yes, real life 26 hours. I forgot I had a little bit on this semi too. Yeah, I'm not going back with 600 bushels in there. Let's go get it completely emptied. Start up the old dirty one. Auto drives had this truck most of the time, so it's at 10 hours. It does a lot of sitting. I got it cranked up to go like 60 mile an hour or something like that. So she flies around the map. Let's make sure, before I do something crazy, that I got this set right. Come on. Input should be yes. Alright, we are good. Good. That stupid mirror. That mirror moves on me. That one does not. And I don't think it's a thing with the truck. What's up, Alex? I noticed it the other time. It was turned in really far like that, and I can see my own door. But the next time I came around, it was turned out accordingly to where like it should be. See, even this truck needs maintenance. This one just wears really quick, and I don't get why. The helper, oh, that's right. With auto drive and course play, it goes off a helper, so it's probably like cranked up to 5 times compared to when you run it. Which I don't think that should be a thing either. Just because you put somebody else in it, that your stuff wears down and breaks faster. I get it. It could. But it usually doesn't. Oops. I guess the auger has collisions down there, and that stack does too. I didn't realize it put the taller stacks on. We're gonna get all 600 in this one? Nope. Somebody forgot to close the door too. I forget how many bushels I made that little bed hold. Huh. Alright, where's... there it is. I wasn't far enough forward. Bar 8, what's up, dude? If we can hold out on maintenance on this truck and trailer for a while, I'd be happy. I'd probably be selling this trailer this year anyways, go to a bigger one. It doesn't quite hold the entire grain cart, but I thought about upgrading the grain cart to the 1300 also, which my other grain hopper will hold more than this auger wagon will. I don't know if it'll hold the full 1300 though. Big Papa. Well, that's good to hear. It's a great map, and if you like BTO stuff, even if you don't like BTO stuff, this is still a great map for anybody to play on. You could keep it really small, but get the joy of driving around. And I thought about doing something similar to that on here, where you're you're a small farmer, no semis, just grain wagons. Which I haven't had the need for grain wagons yet, but it'd be a nice addition to this farm too. Oh, not quite as big as that, Big Papa. But yes, you like big maps then. Just looking at the fields. Like this big pasture ground or hayfield coming up, but it's so hilly I wouldn't want to bale that. My favorite part of this map is the terrain. He did a great job with detailing it out, but behind me and to my right are the hills. In front of me to the left is the flat, and it's really the only corner of the map that is flat. So you got to struggle all the way through it with the hills and whatnot. And that's why I literally just bought a VT. I'm not going to plow anything to begin with. I'm just going to VT everything, and then if I need to go plow, then I will. I have not tried that, Big Papa. Is that more of a like city landscape or wooded or farming or a mixture of both? The bottom right of this map, which I pull it up, this area is wooded. I know it's not finished, but he has a bunch of trees down here and a sawmill right there that you could log on. Interesting. I'll have to give it a shot sometime. I'm excited for DR's next map. It's like to finish 25 out or 22 out, excuse me. It would be a joyful to like get into a MP server logging. I want to give it a go. Set up my joysticks and get after it. I mean, Barry, it's really hard for me to say, dude. Carroll, Iowa by DR, and Juku helped, and then Benny is like the one that kind of started that. Is actually my favorite map until this one came out, but this one is so big you find yourself stuck here harvesting non-stop. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I would say this one is almost too much for a single player, especially if you're not using course play or auto drive. Where Carroll, Iowa, you can get into the single player section of it. It's not crazy big, it's not crazy far to drive, but it all depends on what you guys like to do. And I fully get everybody has a different opinion, but oh, I agree. But he's been working on West End since like sometime in 19. A lot of it transfers over. It's easy to convert that over. And I think Texar, I know he's not as aggressive mapping as he used to be, but he put a lot of detail into this, and it's still not finished. And then, I mean, alright, put it this way to you guys. Row crop works on 4X maps. Is it perfect? No. You want a perfect row crop, you're going to go to a 1x to possibly half x. Depends what mood I'm in. But I will say, not in this exact order, my top 5 maps, and like I said, not in this order. Westby, Wisconsin is definitely up there. That is more my style for small farming. Yes, it's a 4x. I get that. It was very early in 22. I also understand that. Then it would have to, another one would be Carroll, Iowa, Tahitian, which both could be row crop, which both are 4x. So it works, but it's not perfectly like the small detail. Then I'm definitely going with Hubbard, Nebraska. What other map did I play a bunch of? I mean, you got to remember how long FS22 was. I had quite a few hours on Greystone. I had quite a few hours on Leona. Mossy Glen. I can't tell you what my top 5 are because I can't finish that one. And they're not in order either. I mean, Hubbard, Nebraska is great. It is definitely my top 2. But because it's so big, you're not going to be farming a whole lot of acres by yourself. Where Tahitian has the smaller fields, you can farm a lot of acres there by yourself. But Carroll is more of where I call that home because it's literally so close to us. And then on top of that, it is exactly how our landscape was up here, or is up here. So that one fits me really well. But then I also love the Wisconsin feel of Westby, where you're the hill dairy farmer. You're not necessarily going to have brand new equipment. You got a lot of sound guards running around or old boxcar Magnums and stuff. And tell you guys the truth, I'm really excited for 25. I'm really excited to dive into modding for 25 mapping and see what new things we can do to these older maps. Now, Midwest Horizon by Texar is a great map. It fits a lot of the Midwest to you. There's a little bit of elevation difference. Not a lot. It was detailed. It'd be great if all the farms were working all the way across the board for animals and everything, which I had a version of that in 19 that I did up for myself and never got around to finalizing it. I had, I think, like 3 or 4 of the farms finished, so they all had animal pens and everything on it, and then 22 came out, and I'm just over Midwest Horizons. We started playing it in the beginning of 22 also, and I was like, I just can't get into it because I spent so much time on it in 19. So I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. Anybody remember Flint Hills from 19? Flint Hills was one of my all-time favorite maps from 19, and I spent so much time on it. I probably would go in, build a farm, get the silage done, and be done on it. Fender, I agree with you, man. I really do. But when you sit there and make every building yourself and you're a one-man show, it takes him so long to get a map out, and there's nothing wrong with it. They're great maps. But I wish he could give that quality all the way across the board. to a 4X. Exactly what you're saying there. He'll stay on 1X until... I don't know about you guys, but I heard the rumor. I shouldn't even say rumor. I heard, and I want to say it was DJ Goham that said it, that Giants have not said a 4X can't go on console. And when you go through your log in GE or in game, you'll see the key points where it says too much memory, not stable for PS4. It doesn't say anything about Xbox. It doesn't say anything about PlayStation 5. So I'm kind of on that realm of there could be a 4X for console. Now, whoever decides to take on that task, I applaud you because, oh, the other map I forgot to say anything about, Saskatchewan, I can't even pronounce it right, by BC Beeler, and help me out, guys. Ah, who else made that map? That was a great map, and they brought swathing in, and the swathing is now in 25. There you go, South Sask. Thanks, man. So they figured out how to get all that stuff to work across the board. And I love that map, but it's a 1X, and that's what draws me away from it, because those small fields with a nice big air bar, air seeder and everything, it wasn't my kind of style. It needs to be like a big 4X or 16X for me to run those big machines. But where I sit with it is potential console for 4X. I got you, Fender. And man, that would be a game changer. I would not say a game changer for modders, because a lot of modders can't stand putting things through Giants' standards, because Giants don't even hold themselves to their own standards. And that's where a lot of the miscommunication comes from. Oh, come on. 1.2 hours. And I'm at 21 acres. Alright. So let's say 20 to 21 acres an hour. We should be fine. But anyways, 4X on a console, excuse me, would be nice just to get your console friends to be able to play with you on the bigger maps for MP and stuff. Now, they'd still have to deal with the cross-platform mods, which is also a pain in the butt. And we've known for a long time that PlayStation is the issue with consoles. Because, let's face it, Xbox is Microsoft. They build computers. They know how to make that stuff handle it. And I would say Xbox has always been one step ahead of PlayStation, as in their system. PlayStation took on a lot of their... a lot of the games that are only allowed on PlayStation type deal. Why can't I even think of that phrase? But yeah, it's a Monday. So what I'm getting at is it would change Farm Sim to allow a lot more from a modder. So if we can get 4X maps on console, what can we do with vehicles then? What can we do with scripts then? And I know, again, PlayStation was the one worried about the scripts, because they could potentially hide something in the back of that script that opens up a lot more from PlayStation, and they didn't want to deal with the hacks. So, also, DJ Goham stated that Giants was not going to do a 4X to begin with. So, it gives me a lot of hope with everything that they're doing with the textures to make that hold less slots. And a 4X map would be a lot of slots, because you're making the texture sizes so much bigger, which is a huge issue for the consoles. But if they're making everything like, excuse me, if they're making everything like that more compressed, then that means we can get more detail in equipment, more detail in the maps itself. You can have more trees. If the trees are taking up less space, then that's even better yet. So that's why I'm really excited for 25. You're going to see another whole realm open up with 25 on the council side of it. And that's why I still am going to tell you, Fender, I know you're on council and I'm not harping on you, but that is why I ditched the console. I stopped at the Xbox X. And I went to a PC. It wasn't that big of a jump, and I had the money sitting there to buy the next console, but at the same time I bought an entry-level PC for a little bit more. So it was a great to go off of. And now I ended up upgrading to a Ryzen 7 with a 3080. 32 gigs of RAM. It runs great. Now I have my textures cranked and I'm used to running like 20 to 30 FPS anyways, so this doesn't even bother me. With everything going on, me streaming, running a 16x, textures or my distance cranked up crazy high so you don't get that weird circle going on close, I'm still right around 37 FPS on a 16x map, which the 16x map helps out by spreading everybody's farms out, spreading all their equipment out really good. I could focus strictly on performance, but this is right where I wanted to be with as much detail as I'm running and my specs. I'm okay with it. I got tire tracks turned up, I guess, too. Usually I turn the tire tracks down. That helps a lot with memory and whatnot. But the terrain of a map and the border of a map being as the clip distance is so far to make it look good and everything, that is what kills your FPS also. So well, my question to you, Fender, is when are they coming out with another console? So if you got a PS5 and what is that? Xbox, whatever the last one is that came out. If they're not going to upgrade their consoles anytime soon where you can't play your games anymore, then that gives you a little bit longer to set it aside. I know inflation's been bad. I will tell you right now, being careful of your game settings and the mods you run, you could probably get away with a $1,200 PC pretty easy playing Farm Sim. And I would say that one should probably get you upwards of 60 FPS. Again, that is based on your settings and the mods you run. I agree with you, Fender, but I heard they weren't going to do another console for almost 2 years. And just like Eric said there, the biggest thing is what can you see? And when you guys go to a PC, I started with a laptop. And the big reason I did that is because I ran my laptop, but it had the integrated freaking graphics card built into it, so it was crappy, especially to my old big screen TV. But that got me away from buying a monitor right away, and that money adds up. When you get a desktop for $1,200, then you got to buy a $200 monitor, then you got to buy a keyboard and everything like that. Where if you went straight to, well, if you put all that money into a laptop, you could get away with, let's say, like at $1,800 you'd have in a desktop. Yes, you can upgrade it as time goes on, or you just buy an $1,800 laptop and run it through a TV, and you're set for the next 4 or 5 years. So I I shouldn't say it's an argument because it's not an argument. I have this conversation quite often with people who are trying to get into the PC realm. And I was nervous at first too, but this is the one and only game that I wanted to play on PC. But it also opened me up to a huge library of games that I would not have played at all or even thought about playing until I got a PC. And the reason I say this, my brother wants to kind of like get into the racing more, but he doesn't want to dip on his consoles. And I said, you're looking at Forza compared to iRacing. Forza has better graphics. It might run a bit smoother, but it's also directed towards console. iRacing is all about immersion to me. You feel it, you can adjust it, you can move on. So it's like, yeah. See, that's what I said too, Fender. And the biggest thing, dude, they're rebuilding Farm Sim engine. They've made it better. That's the huge standpoint. I agree to a lot of people 17 looks better. I missed a lot of things from 17. But 19 was better, 22 was better, 25 is going to even be better yet because the restrictions with 22 coming out and COVID and the chips and all the old gen consoles and all that crap compiled into what we got. What's up, Mojo? Jojo. Mojo? Jojo. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. But back to where I was, Fender, is like... I said Farm Sim was going to be the only one I played. I didn't have a whole lot of memory on that computer, so I ended up buying... like, I want to say I had 500 gigs on that computer for memory. Then I bought a terabyte hard drive, or external memory card for it, which worked out great. It's a little bit slow on transfer back and forth, but you put the mods and Farm Sim on your computer, and then everything else, say like pictures, videos, or anything like that you want to do, would go onto the external hard drive. Again, transfer's a little slow there. It takes a little bit longer for the programs to grab stuff like that. But then you're saving the quality memory on your computer for strictly Farm Sim. And trust me, I had thousands of mods on that. I played 16x, 32x maps on my little laptop. I think it had a 1080 in it. Yeah. And an Intel... God, what CPU did I have in that? CJ, that's what I said too, and you're not going to convince somebody that is nervous to leave their consoles because of all their friends and everything, and also to make the big step into paying I think mine was like $2,300 2 years ago. No, 2 years this December, and that's just the desktop. That wasn't everything else I bought. And that's it, Jake. You don't know, but way I look at it is, what were the last consoles cost? Like $700-800? So at that point, you could throw in another $400 or $500. I know that's a big amount, but what I'm saying is save up a little bit longer to get the other $400 or $500, buy an entry-level PC. And I would say my entry-level PC it's not good enough for streaming anymore. I'll admit that. Me streaming through that while playing the game was very difficult. But it would be good enough to play. You could record videos if that's what you wanted to do also. And you're going to find a lot more games. I mean, I'm over Call of Duty. I don't know about you guys, but I've been over Call of Duty for a very long time here. Battlefield was my game of choice for a long time. And I'm even over playing Battlefield. You got Knights of Fallujah, I want to say, if I got that name right. But my favorite shooting game is now Gray Zone. Gray Zone is like the ultimate shooting game. You want to blow stuff up. The NPCs are never the same spot. They're never a one-shot kill. They're never a 5-shot kill. Then you get to build your guns. Now, let's be real here. On Steam, they do a lot of in-development games. And they've been in development for many, many years. They never do a full release. But they're making money off it, so why would you need to? And then you don't have to hear about this game's junk. And that's what they all went to. So that way they never have to have the steampunk issue where everybody sent it back because it was just completely not done, even though they said it was done. I'm with you there, Eric. The one I actually, when I got this game the first time, I had a very basic PC for college that hardly pushed it. And then I ended up using my dad's PC that he had for his business. And it wasn't a gaming PC. It didn't have the graphics card. It didn't have the RAM and all that stuff for it. But that's what really got me into modding. Excuse me. And then I had a console because I was playing with all my friends and family and everything back in my Call of Duty days. But that's when I said that's enough. I want to go back to modding a game. I wanted to have the control over it. And that's what made me buy my first PC. What's up, Benny? I'm with you, Jay. Yes, I agree, Jake. And yes, I was a crazy person back in 17, 19, downloading a bunch of stuff. And as you learn more and more, you get to the point of you look through a mod when you put it into the game and you go, oh no, that ain't gonna work for me, and I sacrifice it or I fix it up. And 22 was a perfect example for that. Look how fast we were converting mods and everything, and a lot of people, new people, were out there converting mods and then didn't have them done perfect. The truck mods are crazy though. Like, you gotta watch out for your tries. It's the same thing as they do on consoles. And the more detailed it is, the harder it is going to be to run. So maybe take the less detailed mod that isn't exactly what you want over the high detailed mod that is going to make your game lag. Sacrifices, ladies. Sacrifices. Oh man, you know, it is a rain day, and I didn't even think about it. I don't have anything in the house, but man, when they call me to ask me to go back to work, if I said I was already drinking, I can't drive, that would be golden. But hey, I'm also the foreman. They ain't gonna call me to go back to work. I usually call everyone else. Easy Dev is a game changer, dude. I used to do that through the console. All that stuff right here through the console. 1719. What's the specs, Benny? And is it a desktop or a laptop? A laptop. There, I said it right. Legacy must not even be up yet. He'd be in here giving me crap. Yeah, I would ask about the specs, but where I'm at is you could go with a 2080 Ti graphics card, but the RAM's where it's at, and even if it's not enough RAM that you want, say he's only got 16 gigs of RAM, all you got to do is buy 2 sticks of 16 gigs of RAM then and replace it in your computer, rather than having to buy a different console or a different computer altogether. And that was the big sell point. I did not buy my PC to last me for the next decade. I bought my PC to last me for the next couple years, and then I was going to upgrade as time goes on. No, I don't want no 40 series graphics card. I think they were overpriced, rebranded 30s, but Jake. I was right there one day too, man. I held myself off. Only reason I go to Mod Network or FS Mods or whatever the crap it is, just to see what's out there, because they always post all the new stuff, and then I'll decide. Mojo, I don't use reshade. I couldn't use reshade with my laptop. It killed me by about 10 FPS. And I tell everybody, do not use reshade. It makes it look beautiful, but man, is it hard on things. So you guys are not seeing my game filter. It doesn't even pull up on the screen, to tell you the truth. I don't have it set up for Streamlabs. My Streamlabs that you guys are seeing right now is a separate filter that I got on it. I just sit here, play with it, but the best thing I can say is turn your HDR toning down, put it at very minimal, and I use my graphic card settings for this. And then I turn my well, let me look. You guys can't see it, but I'll tell you. My details are crazy high along with clarity. My contrast is up to 5%. I turn my exposure down. But then the biggest thing with this game is I felt like there wasn't enough color blue in it. So I use the color tint. I turn it to blue. I'll crank the intensity all the way up so I get it right to like the baby blue mark. I think it's more of a baby blue green. And then I turn the intensity down until I get it to where I really like it. And the hardest part for me is I'll adjust that every time the graphic card updates, because I always do a fresh install just to make it easy so I don't have any issues. I will sit there and find the best settings throughout a day. I won't pick one single time in the game to set it and leave it. The morning looks different than midday and night. You kind of got to sacrifice a few things. The nights are dark, but at the same time, they're really not that dark either. Benny needs to upgrade his RAM. 16? Yeah. Scout, dude, Scout has 64 gigs of RAM, and he can do anything and everything on that PC all at the same time. So that's like going to be my next move, is to kick up to 64 gigs of RAM. This game alone eats the crap out of it, and now I'm streaming on top of it. Mojo, what graphics card you got, dude? Jake, that'll never happen. It's been that way since FS11, dude. Golly, Doctor, you need that much? I suppose he's probably running 5 screens, 2 keyboards, 2 mouses, playing a game over here while he's working over here, writing Lua up there. Oh, that's not bad at all, Mojo. So, when you're in the game, if you got your... Well, some maps might not be right, dude. Tahitian has a lot of trees on it, and it kills it, and then all the placeables and everything there, too. The clip distances could be adjusted. You guys even see my trees in the distance where there's still the flicker and everything. They're adjusted correctly. You got to be real close to see all the details. But you need to go into your graphic card. NVIDIA GeForce is hella good. It will adjust your settings to FS accordingly to what you can push, and you can set it up for performance or details and stuff like that. But usually what I do is I'll let that program adjust my game accordingly, and then I let then I go back in and lower things down. I'll turn my mirrors down to 3. I'll turn my shadows down. I usually turn my tire tracks down. For some reason I got them crazy high right now, and that's a big FPS killer too. And then it is about the mods you're running, what mods you're loading in the game. Look through your log, any Lua call stacks. If you do not know why or what it is, get rid of that mod. Lua call stacks will kill your game, and it's just a repeating error over. Like, mine hasn't changed at all besides that smoke emitter, and that's been that way for the last 20 minutes. If you got a Lua call stack and something's trying to figure it out, it'll just repeat over and over and cause you FPS issues also. Have a good one, Fender. I'm with you there too, Benny. I need to do a fresh mod clean. It's getting bad. And I'll tell you right now, Mojo, if you're playing on Tahitian or Carroll, those are 4X maps, both completely different maps, but the issue is the placeables also have errors in them, and we get them from the other modders. And the last time we tried doing this, we got shut down pretty hard about it, that we were hosting the download for that mod even though it was somebody else's. And the reason behind that was because we fixed the errors, we changed a few things, we made it so it would work and place in game correctly, and they were upset about it. So now Carroll comes around and DR literally was like, hey, here's the mods you need, this is what we got, you're going to download them from us, because if you download them from them, it's not going to work properly, and it's still a hectic issue. Yes, Jake. And the other thing is, I am very limited on the amount of script mods I put in, because when they don't like each other, they really don't like each other. And sometimes they won't appear, that error or dislike towards each other won't appear for almost a couple years in game. And when that happens, or I shouldn't say a couple years, a couple months in game. It all depends on what it was wrote for, what it was doing, what it is for. So like some of the baler stuff might not appear until you try to bail. Well, if you don't bail for 2 years, you're never going to know that. So it's just crazy stuff like that you got to watch out for. But Mojo, like I was saying, use your graphic card filter. If you set it up through GeForce Experience, which I know you can get for free since you have one, I use Alt F3 in game to bring it up, and you can adjust all your filter settings. Give me 1 second here. I wonder where I got that. Properties. Okay, that ain't it. Where'd I put that filter then? Right there. Why is that picking it up so weird? So that's base game. So, I don't like the fact that it's not picking my stuff up like it should be. I'm gonna have to mess with that one. I'm really not gonna mess with it right now, but go away. Come on, click away. There we go. I'm not gonna mess it right now so I don't ruin the stream, but mine's a bit brighter. So you guys are seeing base game right now, and I'm looking at the screen too, seeing it, and it's just dull. I like a little bit more vibrance to it, so you can see the brightness of the sun hitting in spots and whatever. Mojo, I'll probably just have to end up posting it on posting a screenshot of it, to tell you the truth, because there's so many things you can do in that. Yes, it's very dingy. And I need to get stream excuse me. Here, I know what I can do real quick while this thing's unloading. We grab that. We shut that off. Now this is, see, it's still too bright. Streamlabs picks it up way too bright. Take a screenshot. And then the brightness. And it also matters on what you have for your settings on your monitor. So that'll change a lot around. Where's my game capture? Desktop off. There we go. I hear you there, Jake. Oh, Mojo, you could rewind. I think I left them up there long enough for you to grab it. If not, you'll just need to tell me, and then I could possibly post it. Oh, you're good, dude. I usually don't like to run Streamlabs on my desktop, because then every time I click out to adjust a setting or do something else, it kicks out to my desktop. I always try to remember not to have any of my personal information or crap that I don't want to show up on my desktop. Thank God you guys just see my screenshots there, but that's the main reason I don't do my desktop screen recording. I just do it through game capture, which for whatever reason is not grabbing my graphics settings. So maybe I can figure something out through Streamlabs, but I doubt it. Thank you, Mojo. I appreciate that. I need to adjust that little icon. Where the heck's that one at? Alert box. Bring you down. Right there. There we go. I just got to remember to get the videos up and edited before I do a full public release on the video. I'm terrible at it. Well, that's good to hear, Mojo. A lot of people in this community like to keep everything a secret, which I'm not that way. I do know what I know. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. And I appreciate you too, Mojo. Dang, Jake, you're going to go that far back? Dude, I don't have it on the server because it was just a quick convert from 19. But, I grabbed that 2 series Gleaner, the newer models than what you're usually working on. I want to play with it so bad, but I can't look at it. The model is so outdated, and I still can't get anybody to do it. What's up, Waylon? Good to see you around, dude. Oh, jeez, Mojo. Chris is here. Look at all these little lurkers in the background. Oh yeah, sorry, Jake. 60 or the 5 series. At least you said something, Steve. You know, Mojo, I should almost I can't, nothing bad here. I was actually going to hop off for a little bit, get some things done on my raid day. Now I feel bad if I hop off. Now, Jake, I need your help with this, because isn't there... Alright, so the years What years are the ones you did too? Because I'm looking for the model after that. And I thought we had this chat before. And I thought it was like mid-90s. Golly, I can't remember now. Okay. And the R Series 2. See, now I can't remember what I'm looking for. I'll have to go Google it after the stream. Ooh, the yield's terrible down here, and it still hasn't kicked it down. Definitely going to have to adjust that. But it gets worse behind me. I'll have to keep an eye on that then. Which I guess advanced add-on doesn't help either, because I'm kicking at 10% moisture, which also docks me in yield. I think it's going to be dang near impossible to get all my crops out at the right time with my moisture on this map. I need another combine next year for sure, but we got rain coming, and then end of November snow. Alright. I also need to get a snowplow, because I'm going to be selling corn like crazy come middle of December. Speaking of which, I'm going to go in the store real quick. I was trying to do a stream where I didn't. I'm not going to buy anything. I just need to look to see what I got. I could go that route. Gotta plow my driveway, Mojo, to get the truck through to sell the grain. The way I start my games is I buy just what is needed, and then I buy things as I go. But I always seem to not have any money when I need something. I mean, I know I'm sitting on like 18,000 bushels of corn. Do we got any good contracts out there that are not going to take 4 days to do? Not doing that one again. Field 9. That ain't bad. No. No. I don't need to do that. All right, Jake. See, that's what I'm looking at. I thought I wanted a R52, but it's going to be, I think, after 96. I noticed that, Mojo. So the peak price is supposed to be in January. So that's where I'm looking, like halfway through December. start selling and get that jump going up, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to sell it all. I'm just going to sell what I need. But I also have to remember I got to buy seed. Seed corn, seed for beans, and that's going to be a lot to get through this. Got you, Jake. That's what I'm looking for. I wish, I mean, even if Sig came out with his S series, it's still too new for me, but it'd still be something. Alright, ladies, I'm going to end up hopping off right here. I'm going to get some of my stuff done. I will be back later tonight. It's like 11 o'clock, so let's say 8 hours from now. I'm going to try to push for 7 o'clock tonight, Central Time, to jump back on and do a couple hour stream or something there. So again, thank you, Mojo. Thanks for everybody who grabbed that membership from Mojo, and we'll see you next time.